What if there was a free, easy to use tool to check your financial health and you only had to use it once a month? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm Nathan with Askesis Mindset. It is my mission to create free resources to help you on your journey to financial freedom. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for all the amazing things that we have to offer. In the video description below, you will find a link to the monthly measure. I'm going to go through a tutorial on that with you right now. The monthly measure is going to be the one document that tells you truly whether you are making progress or not towards your ultimate goal of financial freedom. This is the last document in the Askesis video tutorial series, and I do appreciate you joining us for this series. I hope you've been able to watch all of the videos. Honestly, I am just a normal person. I did not want to put myself on camera, but I realized that, in order to get the Askesis mindset out there, I needed to show up on video. I understand that some of these might be a little dry, but you know, this isn't entertainment. This is real life. This is You need to get out there, change your mindset, be disciplined, absolutely grind and reach financial freedom. Honestly, it's not a game. A lot of times it's not fun, but you can do it. So I appreciate you sticking through these videos. Hopefully someday I get to go back and revisit them, maybe make them a little more entertaining, but the information's here. Everything that I used as a normal person working as a public school teacher, having so many side hustles I can't even remember, building houses myself. I'm just a normal, average, ordinary person, just like you. So if I can do it, you can do it. I've laid it out. The net worth tracker was my most important tool for me to understand where was I going and how fast was I getting there. Okay. It is that piece once a month. It's going to take you maybe 5 to 10 minutes, maybe. And hopefully you think about it for about an hour. But once you get it down, it's just a simple update and boom, you have the number. In the video description below, you'll see a link to this Google Sheet. Make sure you make yourself a copy. This how-to section is really for somebody that is self-directed. They're clicking on this from the website and they're not watching the video tutorial. We're going to go through it together. The very first thing that you're going to do is add up all of your income for that month. I don't care where it came from. If you want to get into specifics, go back to the income investigator worksheet and all out grind to try to get your income up and do that. This sheet is simply at the end of the month, what did you come up with? Same for expenses. Add up everything that you spent, regardless of category. That goes here. And then what was the difference? Okay. If you go to the how-to sheet, we're trying to save more than 70% of our income. Okay, so you're going to kind of see it change colors as you're able to save more and more money. And I know 70% sounds like a lot. It is a lot. Okay, that's what's going to accelerate you to financial freedom the most. But that's why we have other resources available dedicated to minimizing your expenses, maximizing your income, and helping you live more intentionally. The net worth, the monthly measure is simply a measure, that's what it is, of how well that you did. I don't want you to be discouraged if you start at 30% of your income. If you're saving 30% of your income and you just started this, okay, great. Our next goal is 40. Okay. After that, we're going to try to get to 50. So everything is a progression. Okay? We're not going to allow lifestyle creep. We're going to be very intentional about our income and maximize every single opportunity that we have. Going back to the monthly measure, you have two columns here, really. And I hope I've put enough placeholders for you. If not, you can add additional columns. These are the most frequent assets and the most frequent liabilities. If they don't apply to you, simply click on that cell and change the name. That's all you have to do. Okay. You're going to list all of your assets. Okay. How much is in your checking, savings, cash, digital wallets, investment accounts, health savings, collectibles, any equity that you have in your house, stock accounts, any business ownership. And these can be estimates, but we want to make sure that they're realistic estimates. So, for example, home equity. If the houses around you are selling for less now than they were last year, you need to take that into account. Whatever the market value of your house is, minus what you owe, is your equity. Okay. So just be cognizant of if you had to sell it tomorrow, which I understand house sales are not that quick, but if you had to sell it tomorrow, what would it be worth? Any other assets that you have, list them here. Finally, on the liability side, anything that you owe to another person or a company gets listed here. So mortgage, home equity, auto loans, business loans, any margin, credit card, student loan, taxes, medical debt, anything that you owe to someone else needs to get listed as a liability. On the liability side, we also added two other columns. One for interest rate. So what is the interest rate on that loan? And then is that loan fixed or variable? So could that interest rate go up or down, or is it going to stay the same? So yes or no. You can use this to monitor your debt. There is such a thing as good debt. Okay. The first thing that you're going to have to do is eliminate all of your bad debt before you start thinking about good debt, because bad debt will cost you twice to three times more than good debt. We can't make debt productive when the interest rate is higher than we could get a return on, decent assets. Different conversation, but I want you to list that on your monthly measure just so that you can prioritize getting those highest interest rate debts taken care of as soon as possible. There is an entire page on the Askesis Mindset website dedicated towards alpha. Alpha is what you can make over and above the average person. So in investing, alpha would be anything over the average return of the entire market. Okay. So it's that difference. It's like the cream on the top. If the average of the stock market is 7%, how can we get to 9? That would give us 2% of alpha. And that's where we can start talking about good debt as well. That, okay, could we take on debt at 5% and buy an asset that, say, returns 10%? Okay, we're getting 5% alpha there just by using someone else's debt to fund our investments. Completely different conversations, but things that you should start thinking about after your bad debt has been eliminated. Finally, it will auto add all of your assets and liabilities for you and populate your net worth. Okay. Every single month, you should do this. So once you're done, if you right click down here, you can click duplicate, and I would rename this as whatever the month is in the year. So for example, August, 2026, 2027, 2028, whatever the year is and the month, and then do it every single month. Then you can chart this on your own. So I would put that number onto one Excel sheet. You can always add it somewhere on this sheet or make another one, but start documenting that net worth. What I really want you to do is see progress over time. Okay. I didn't start documenting my net worth until about um 10, 15 years ago, but I recently took the time to go all the way back to when I was 18. And it took about a day because I had to dig through a bunch of documents and whatnot. But I started tracking my net worth. And honestly, it's one of the greatest tools because it keeps your mindset focused on the future and not really on the present or the past. The Askesis mindset is going to be uncomfortable. There are going to be days where you're just like, what am I doing this for? That's when you need to be able to look back at your net worth from last year and 5 years ago and see, oh, this is why I'm doing this. I've made, let's say, 5 years ago, your net worth was 25,000 and now you're at 250,000. Okay, that's great progress. You are living intentionally. You are moving the needle in the right direction. And every time you have a day where you're like, why am I doing this? I just want to treat myself. I want to take a massive vacation and, just go crazy. Okay, well, at the expense of what? Okay, look at your progress and stay on that mission because every dollar that you can save, especially early in life, the compounding effects of those dollars are hard to state later on. Okay, spending $10,000 on a European trip in your 20s just because you want to go, you want to get out and explore the world. By the time you retire, that trip could cost you $100,000 based off of compounding. Not to say that you can't work hard, maximize your income, do things specifically to save up for that trip and still fund your future goals. Anything's possible. But all I'm asking is that you live intentionally. If you want to follow the Askesis mindset, every single financial decision that you make is done with intentionality. Okay? There's nothing that just happens. There are no splurges. There's no, oh, I relapsed and, spent $2,000 on my credit card this month because I just needed it. My mental health need. No, that does not exist in the Askesis mindset. Go for a walk. Okay, close the computer, shut off the online shopping, and go for a walk. Your monthly measure, your net worth, is a direct result of your daily decisions, and you should be able to look back over time and become more and more proud of yourself, but also more and more determined and focused because you can see it. You can see that you're progressing to a place that, one, maybe you thought that you'd never get to. I never envisioned being in the financial position that I am right now. I'm 37. I'm retired. All I do is esquisses. This is a passion. I pretty much do it for free. And that's it. I wake up every day to an alarm. I choose my own schedule. I I think that I am set. I'm still taking risks and doing things to grow my net worth, but I never thought that I'd be here. And in looking back, you know, progress was slow, especially at the beginning. You know, I mentioned before, if you've watched this video series, and you can look on my website, I had regular jobs. I was a public school teacher for 10 years. I started making $32,000 a year. But I lived intentionally. I saved as much money as I could. I invested that money into building houses, into the stock market, and that money started to make more money. I had a number of side hustles, part-time jobs, whatever you want to call them, and 100% of those funds went into funding my financial future instead of my right now. I really appreciate you joining us for not only this video, but I hope that you were able to take in all of the other videos in this series. Your financial future is the ultimate freedom, the ultimate ticket to happiness and freedom. Work for me was always something that I didn't particularly enjoy. It was a means to an end. There is a misconception out there that, oh, find work that you love and you'll never work again. For most of you, that's just simply not true. It's a fantasy. Like, most work is work for a reason, and the more money you make, most likely the more stress and responsibilities you have, and frankly, probably miserable. But it's a trade-off. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice in order to get to financial freedom? Okay. The Askesis Mindset website is a resource for you. I created it. I've paid for it myself. It's free. Use it. Okay? It's a tool for you to get ahead. The best thing that you can do is get off of the internet and go do something. Go get a part-time job, go to work, go produce something. Don't stay stuck in I know I should change, I want to change. Okay, then do it. Make the decision to do it and do it until. And keep going. The monthly measure is your compass, essentially, for your financial life. Look back, see where you were 5 years ago, see where you are now. You're going to start seeing the progress. Once you start hitting those milestones and you're at 50,000, and you're at 100,000 and 250,000 and 500,000, you're going to start getting it. That money is going to keep producing for you, and you can keep producing at the same time. And the effects of compounding are just, it's going to get you to a place where you never thought that you could be. And if no one else has told you, I hope the one thing that you take away from this video and all of the resources I have is that you can do it. Okay, this is achievable by 60 to 70% of the population. And the simple fact is that 2% of the population will actually do it. Why? Because it's hard, it's uncomfortable. Okay? We're surrounded by comfort constantly, trying to bribe us away from our financial future. And so every dollar that you spend is a vote. And I hope you always use that vote in favor of yourself and your freedom. So thank you again so much for watching. You can subscribe to our channel, check out the website. I hope you share this with a friend who you feel could benefit from this information, and make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.